You, as a personal injury attorney, are going to want to target local terms. You're going to want to target near me's. You're not going to want to target international, or you're not going to want to target international terms because we're trying to provide our service locally. For the Google business profile of a personal injury attorney, what you want to make sure is that you have a keyword in your name. Rather, you have the base like an attorney or lawyer. If you could get personal injury in there as well, you want a keyword in your Google business profile name. It helps your Google business profile rank. So anything outside of a 10-mile radius is going to fall below position 20. So for us, what we consider that is you're not actually visible. So what you need to consider is that inside of that 10-mile radius, where are you going to rank based on the amount of reviews you have? And what we found was is that if you have anywhere from 1 to 9, you get about a mile and a half radius. At 10 to 50 reviews, you get a like a 5-mile radius. Now, I'm not saying you're guaranteed to rank in the first 3 positions, but what this means is that as you get more reviews, your profile can rank further and further from the location. So 1 through 9, you get that half a mile radius. 10 to 50, you get that 5-mile radius. And then after you go from 50, so now for the Google business profile for a personal injury attorney, what you need to consider is that each profile has a radius of around 9 miles. And what I mean by that is we just did a study where we looked at 10 big metros and over 3,700 Google business profiles. Around the 9-mile radius to 10-mile radius mark, your profile is going to drop out. And when I say drop out, that means it's going to be below the 20th position in a majority of the time. So what you need to do is you need to get a second Google business profile. That second profile and the first profile, those radiuses, those need to overlap slightly. Now, why we want to do this is there are instances in which someone in between those two profiles, when they search for your term, your keyword, you can take up two of the top three listings on in search on Google Maps. When you do that, first off, when you just take the first position, the 3-pack, when you take that first position with your Google business profile, you get anywhere from 30 to 40% of the clicks. Take up those top two and you get 60%. So not only that, what can happen is because you have these two profiles, you can rank in these two areas. You basically have these two giant billboards anytime someone is searching in Google for your service. Now, if you want to rank for near me terms, so what do I mean by that is you take the service and then you add near me. So personal injury attorney near me, you have to show the address on your Google business profile. Your physical address has to be seen by customers. So when you go on that profile and you hit edit and then you go to address, you have to show it. If you do not, it is nearly impossible or extremely difficult to rank for near me terms. Not only that, being a service area based profile makes it difficult to rank for any term. Businesses or Google business profiles that have their verified address shown are way more likely to rank for any term, including near me. The primary category you set on your Google business profile is the number one factor you need to be considering. It needs to accurately match the keyword you're trying to target. If you're a personal injury lawyer, you need to put personal injury lawyer. You don't need any of these other terms or primary categories in that slot for your business. Another thing you want to consider is putting a keyword in your Google business profile name. That is going to be the second most important thing you do that's going to help you rank. The next thing you need to do is get reviews of your actual team, of you in the office on your profile. Having photos of your team is a ranking factor. The total amount of photos on your Google Business Profile is a ranking factor. So get pictures of your building, get pictures inside your building, your workspace, and of your team. Any client success stories, you need to make sure that your hours are accurate. Do not put 24 hours if you are not 24 hours. What will happen is Google will call your business at those hours to verify that you are actually open. If you're not, Google will suspend your profile. Next, you need to make sure that you have at least 15 services on your Google Business Profile. What you want to do is you want to go through and for your top level keyword, you want to have keyword variations of that term, right? So, personal injury attorney, personal injury lawyer. You want to go through and have at least 15 different variations of the keywords you're trying to target. So, like car accident, 18-wheeler accident, wrongful deaths, rideshare accidents. You've got slip and fall as well. And you want to make sure that each of those services have a 2 to 3 line description for each. Another thing you want to do is on your website at the bottom in the footer, you want to embed your Google Business Profile. What that means is so search for your business, go to Maps, find your Google Business Profile, hit share, then a share window will pop up. On the right side, it's going to say embed map. You're going to want to click that. You're going to want to copy the code. And then that's the code you're going to place in your website, in your footer. If you currently have this set up, I would go and double check right now. I have done so many audits recently, and it's one of the first things I'll go and check and I'll click. And 9 times out of 10, it's not linking to the business's Google Business Profile. So, real quick, go and check yours. Another thing is when you go to do press releases, you're going to want that code to embed on those press releases. So whenever that goes and gets syndicated or distributed, all of those backlinks that are pointing not only to your website, they are going to be pointing to your Google Business Profile. Not only do you want that embed, but what you want to do is you want to search your business. You're going to go to Maps, you're going to click your business, and in the URL, what you want to make sure is the link that you're using in your press releases are the link that is from that Google Maps URL. What it's going to be is going to be Google Maps. Then it's going to be / places, or it's going to be / something. And then it's going to be your name of the business. And in between each word, it's going to have a plus sign. That's the URL you want to use to link to your Google Business Profile and embedding that HTML.